In every man's life, there comes a choice between two paths. One, a path full of darkness and treachery. The other, a path that is bright and playful. But what the man doesn't realize is that he must either suffer through the pain and treachery while on the path to success, or suffer through the pain and darkness at the end of the path to failure.
This video, I want to talk about how to get work done quickly, efficiently. Or in other words, I want to talk to you about how you're going to get into a flow state, what it is, and some tips I have on getting into them. So, what is a flow state? Well, a flow state is when you're working, your brain kind of like turns off everything extra. There are no extra thoughts in your heads about girls, video games, whatever. And you're just sitting there and you're deep into work. You have no other thoughts in your mind except for you're sitting there, you're working, and you know, you're getting things done fast because you're not distracted by anything around you. A flow state is that, when you have no thoughts in your mind and you're simply focused on the one thing that you are doing right now. Now, while that sounds cool, how do we actually get into a flow state? And the reality is, it's called struggle. How do you get into a flow state? You struggle. So, what do I mean by struggle? Well, to get into a flow state, I mean, there's has to be a time where you're just working. There has to be a time where you're just sitting at your desk and like, oh, do I really want to do this right now? I mean, my phone's like I have to grab it, but I don't really want to. And you're still working, you're pushing through, you're trying to keep your brain exactly on that task. And eventually, your brain's like, oh, we're really doing this right now. And it starts to zero in on this. You'll almost feel the thoughts dissolving from your mind. And you'll just be sitting there and suddenly no other thoughts. You literally just working. And when this happens, one, not only do you become more productive because I mean, well, how would you be more productive than focusing on the exact thing that you want to do right now? Two, it feels great because you know you're in a flow state and you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm being so productive, I'm being so efficient right now. This is awesome. And that's a great feeling. But I want to teach you how to get in. So the first thing you need to do, remove all distractions, remove phones, books, friends, parents, maybe lock your door. I don't care. Anything that would be a distraction, take it out of your room because the problem with getting into a flow state is it can be broken very easily by somebody texting you or maybe one of your family members coming in, being checking on you. So one, remove all distractions and possible future distractions as well. The second method, set a schedule of important tasks that you need to do. So not something like, oh, I'm gonna check my emails or I'm gonna I'll just go for a walk in the middle or something. No. Set the tasks that you need to get done that are all on the same device. So if you have a device right in front of you, maybe you have to write a paper for history and an essay for English. So you bring out all the materials that you need for the history paper, then maybe on a separate desktop page or whatever, you bring out all the materials that you would need for uh the English essay and you get everything that you're gonna get done set up. So first, once you have everything set up, make a plan of what you want to do first. You're not going to want to switch between tasks, between writing your paper, between essay. Pick one that you need to get done first. So maybe it's the paper for history. So you have all your documents open that you want to use. You have the paper. Start writing. You know, once you have a plan of what you're going to do, you have it all set up on your computer. You have, you know, no distractions around you and you're hydrated you're fed so that you don't start getting hungry in the middle and that breaks it. Start working. And when you start working, your brain's gonna be like, oh, this is hard. I don't want to do this right now. Maybe we should do it later. And it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take 10, 20 minutes of just sitting there and almost looking angry at it, trying to zero in on what you're doing. And eventually your brain's like, fine. It kind of gives in and decides that it's just gonna focus on this. And when that happens, you're in a flow state. You did it. Congratulations. You're now in your most efficient state for that work. But I mean, maybe it won't work the first time because honestly, getting into a flow state is just like any other muscle in your body and your brain. It takes practice. It might take you 30 minutes the first time to get into a flow state, but then maybe it'll take you 25 and 20. Because just like every other muscle in your body, that muscle that focuses gets stronger every time you use it for something like writing an essay, speaking to someone on camera. I record all these videos the same day and it takes a couple hours to do. So, I have a lot of time that I'm trying to get into a flow state because I need to be able to talk to you guys pretty fast and know that sometimes, I stutter and I can't find the right words to say. And that's because I don't do this with a script anymore. I'm working on practicing my speech muscles, so I don't have a script on the other half of my computer right here. It's just the camera. I'm looking at myself while I'm talking and I'm talking to you guys. I don't have scripts. I don't even have bullet points anymore. I just talk for hours on end sometimes because sometimes I need to retake recordings because I sit there like, I don't know what to say. And then, it kind of breaks the whole flow of the video. So, I'm always working on getting to a flow state every week with these videos because, I need to be able to get these done efficiently because I don't want it to take more than 5 hours to do where I keep stuttering and forgetting what I wanted to say. And I end up, failing and then I have to retake the recordings again. I can't find video ideas, and it's all, you know, going down the hill. So once you get into that, like, what's the deal? So usually you can get into a flow state and you'll stay in there for about 90 minutes to 120 minutes to 3 hours. It depends on how strong the muscle is. If this is your first time trying it, it might be an hour before your brain starts to come out of it. And when you feel your brain starting to come out of it, what do you do? Do you keep pushing through? Do you want to take a break? Well, there it depends. If you're coming out of it and you're very close to finishing it, let's say you have like 100 more words to write on your English essay, I would recommend just finishing it up. Maybe it feels harder, but just finish up writing the last 100 words and then you're done. Congratulations. But if you have a long way to go, like let's say you haven't even started the English essay yet, then I would recommend once you feel your brain start to slip out of that flow state, turning off whatever you're doing, finishing up the last couple of things that you need to get done. Like maybe you need to finish this paragraph or, finish reading this document. And then after that, go grab a drink of water, go grab something that's not super sugary or carbohydrate to eat, like maybe, some nuts or something like that. Then go grab something non-dopamine to do, like maybe grab a book or something and do that for a little bit. Read the book for maybe 30 minutes, kind of refresh your brain and everything. And then open up your computer and try and get back into a flow state because your flow state's going to ebb and flow, but once you feel that you're truly starting to come out, those thoughts are trying to come back into your mind and everything like that, you can go out of a flow state. Let yourself get out because you're not going to do your best work when you have all these crazy thoughts in your mind again. And go and reset your brain to continue working a little bit later. Sorry. Been a long day. Anyways, I hope this video helped. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. I love you guys. Bye-bye.